So the next team is New Normal, and they will talk about incorporation, pandemic-related health information on the maritime single window dataset. Please welcome Team New Normal.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are Team New Normal. The main goal of our proposal is to be prepared for the post-pandemic era.
We are running out of time, so we urge IMO to consider our proposal.
It is a great honor for us to have this opportunity to attend this mock IMO assembly.
We will
Do our best.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, honorable judges, fellow delegates, and everyone. We are Team New Normal. The world is experiencing unprecedented challenges from COVID-19, which has profoundly impacted our world in many sectors, including the global maritime industry. To contribute to the recovery from this challenging time, our Team New Normal would like to propose incorporating pandemic-related health information on the maritime single window dataset. A detailed explanation of our proposal will be given in the following order. In the background section, we will look at the pandemic situation, urgency, and IMO's mission. Due to the pandemic of COVID-19, port officials and flag states have become extremely cautious in making decisions with risk that can potentially spread the virus. Thereby, as of late September this year, more than 400,000 seafarers have exceeded their contract period, unable to be repatriated. We believe that this crew change issue should be dealt with as a matter of urgency. Seafarers spending extended periods on board suffers from an increased degree of fatigue, which leads to a higher risk of human error, which may also lead to catastrophic consequences. In this time of global crisis, it is crucial to facilitate crew changes, thereby ensuring the safe operation of maritime trade. IMO has set strategic plans and directions for 2018 to 2023 to promote safe, secure, and efficient shipping through cooperation. On the other hand, electronic transmission of relevant documents in international shipping has become crucial, especially during this pandemic situation. Therefore, we would like to analyze the crew change problem, focusing on Strategic Direction 5, Output Number 5.8, Review and Revision of the IMO Compendium on Facilitation and Electronic Business. In this part, we will look at IMO's response, current situation, and analyze the problem. In response to the pandemic situation, IMO has continuously requested the member states to consider raising the issue of seafarers and crew change crisis. Thereby, IMO has asked to cooperate in carrying out the following: designate seafarers as key workers, implementing the protocols, removing barriers. These three key elements are required prior to resolving the crew change crisis, which demands international cooperation. However, still many states are reluctant to cooperate and follow IMO's demands. In the following slides, we will analyze the reasons behind this reluctance. First, we assume the uncertainty created by the pandemic makes member states reluctant to cooperate and give exemptions to seafarers. As informed by WHO's guide, Communicating and Managing Uncertainty in the COVID-19 Pandemic, uncertainty is inevitable and can lead to fear, panic, and loss of trust. This explains why many nations have imposed travel restrictions on foreign nationals. Second, we think the lack in digital infrastructure is preventing member states from implementing the protocols and guidance of COVID-19, making it hard to ensure safe and secure crew changes. The following circular letters state that digital infrastructure for the supply chain played a critical role during COVID-19, and that authorities concerned are preparing plans for recovery and normalization of operations. However, these statements are focused on maritime trade and logistics, not on immigration and health declaration. Third, we believe the complicated procedures are impeding efficiency in the data exchange process, which makes it hard to communicate and remove barriers. The following procedures show different processes and requirements currently being set globally for national administrations, local authorities, organizations, and employing companies to mitigate the infection risk related to the virus. Consequently, the increase in protocols related to the COVID-19 resulted in involvement of more associated authorities and documents, making the procedures more complicated. Therefore, IMO needs to eliminate uncertainty, construct a better digital infrastructure, and conduct more efficient communication to remove barriers and enable the crew changes to secure and enhance global facilitation. The next presenter will present our proposal, suggest solutions, and describe the expected outcome.
Thank you. In this pandemic situation, digitalization enables facilitation. Therefore, we would like to propose to incorporate pandemic-related health information on the maritime single-window dataset for further digitalization to reduce uncertainty and streamline the procedure. The FAR Convention has made it mandatory for all ships, cargoes, agencies, and authorities to exchange FAR data electronically via a single portal. International standards for data exchange help reduce physical contact and streamline processes. Coordinated border management through single window enables electronic communication and reduces the monotonous administrative burden for all authorities concerned. According to the 5 Circular 41, the Compendium on Facilitation and Electronic Business serves as a reference manual for single window. The compendium creates and harmonizes the systems to support accurate transmission, receipt, and response of information that is required for the arrival, stay, and departure of the ships and cargoes. Therefore, we would like to suggest conducting updates on IMO compendium to seek further international consensus on reducing, simplifying, and standardizing the information required for the crew changes. The following table shows the data elements of the IMO dataset used in the single window system. And the following figure illustrates the structure and relations of the standard data elements through the UML class diagram. However, there is no information regarding health-related elements on the single window system. Therefore, we believe the absence of pandemic-related health information stalls efficient communication among associated authorities. We would like to address that IMO also has recognized the need for health information for further digital health declaration recently. Last year, BIMCO, BARCIC, and International Maritime Council submitted the IMO dataset related to the Maritime Declaration of Health at the first session of expert group of data harmonization to suggest including health information on the current IMO reference data model. According to the report of the first meeting of the EGDH, a next one amendment to the existing data elements in the fall 44.6 The recommended procedure in the new business rule requires to state particulars in the person-level list of ill persons if the answer is yes to the following indicators. However, they all go to the same person-level list of ill persons, which makes it hard to distinguish pandemic-related health information from the general health information. This document contains the revised UML class diagram of the IMO compendium based on the decisions of EGDH. The person-level list of ill persons contains data elements such as illness, symptoms, onset date, and treatment. Still, it shows that it is hard to distinguish pandemic-related health information from general health information. Therefore, we would like to suggest IMO to add pandemic-related health information on the maritime single-window dataset. The adoption of our proposal will permit efficient communication for further identification and more efficient risk management, leading to international cooperation and facilitating crew changes. It will also provide an impetus for further investment in digitalization and seamless connectivity, which will enhance global facilitation and secure international trade. The next presenter will explain amendment and implementation.
Thank you. On the File 44.6, we would like to suggest adding a new business rule on disease onboard indicator and infection condition onboard indicator because these two indicators are related to pandemic, as can be seen from this document. And it is needed to distinguish pandemic information from general health information. The example of new business rule could be, if yes, additionally state particulars in the pandemic-related health information level list. This table shows the suggested amendment of the data element on the IMO compendium with the new elements of Annex in File 44.6.2. We would like to suggest additionally incorporating pandemic-related health information as follows. This is our example of pandemic health information added to the IMO compendium. This amendment will be revised data structure and UML class diagram added to the IMO dataset. Accordingly, the Maritime Declaration of Health and pandemic-related health information should be added under the compendium's declaration list. In the next slides, we would like to demonstrate how our suggested solution can be implemented in 4 steps. Step 1, collection and selection of all pandemic-related data used in the pandemic procedures in ILO, ICAO, PSC, and other authorities concerned. This step is essential for further digitalization. Step 2, data standardization with related organizations. If data requirements and languages differ, all parties should resolve these differences to their mutual agreement in advance to avoid associated frustration in the data exchange process. Step 3, data application to promote interoperability. The new data elements will be updated on IMO compendium, and this data can be utilized to share pandemic information on GISIS, Global Integrated Shipping Information System. Step 4, data management to secure the data reliability. Collected data and information should be managed well to avoid any possibility of security breaches and fabrication. In this part, we will conclude our presentation by addressing the urgency and action required. With the world's attention now focused on overcoming the pandemic, the ultimate aim of our goal is to keep every seafarer safe, security global economy. Therefore, it is urgent that IMO provide efficient and secure ways to carry out their jobs. This is why we have proposed incorporating pandemic-related health information on the maritime single window dataset, because adoption of this proposal can be used as a part of an overall strategy by countries to mitigate and respond to the current pandemic situation and to promote cooperation in the declaration process. Thus, all related committees and organizations are invited to consider our proposal and immediately take appropriate action to prepare for a post-pandemic era, which is a new normal. Thank you very much for your attention. It was Team New Normal presenting, and questions regarding our proposal are welcome.
Thank you. So just before you question, please be prepared and short and clear, because the presenter should talk more than you. Okay? So yeah. So any questions? Prepare the questions. Unfair? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So I really like your proposal on single window data set that collects general health information from vessels and port states. But I was worried that often these health information contain sensitive and personal information, and thus each port state has different policy in disclosing this health information. So how would IMO acquire support from port states that have strict regulations on disclosing or sharing health information? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Quick, short moment to prepare for the answer.
Okay, sir.
To clarify your question, does it mean does it health information affects the privacy issue, or urging the PSC to cooperate with the IMO's action in this incorporating pandemic health information?
Exactly, ma'am. So as health information often contains sensitive information, some port states are quite reluctant in disclosing this personal health information. So how would IMO persuade these port states? That was my question. Thank you.
Our proposal is including health information of crew members on board. So it's not disclosing their health information to the public, but disclosing those health information to the related authorities that need health declaration, or authorities to release their travel restrictions. Does that cover your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question. New normal is presenter, sorry. Safe recyclers, yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. I was wondering if when we are examining the health of people on board, there may be areas of the world or developing nations that don't yet have the adequate equipment or medical equipment to examine their sailors. For example, in developing countries, they may not have the adequate equipment to see if a person really has COVID-19 or not. Even in developed nations, there aren't enough PPE or medical equipment. And in the case that sailors or people on board have to go on the ship and onto the seas, even before or when they can't get any examinations, how would that hinder them to enter other nations? And in that case, would a nation's incapability to properly examine their sailors prohibit those sailors from entering other nations and doing business?
Thank you for your question. I would like to clarify your question. So, are you asking that people, like the seafarers from developing nations who don't have the benefit of getting COVID-19 checked, will they be disadvantaged?
Yes, will the people who can't get examined be marginalized?
So, could you say the last word again?
Will they be put in a disadvantageous position due to their nation or the place that they come from not being able to examine their health conditions?
So our proposal is focused on crew changes issue. So I think the case that you mentioned is about when they get disease or health condition is bad, like they cannot get enough health treatment. Is that right?
It's not about the health treatment, it's about examination. Like, not every place has the infrastructure for COVID-19 examination, and those people might be sent on board without the data that they need to put into these tables and diagrams. Yes, it's not about the treatment, it's about the examination.
In that case, we on the UML class diagram, there is information about like symptoms or the degree of their like temperature. So I think those information can also like be used when they are entering foreign ports.
Yeah,
To-
I am sorry. I think you are on the wrong track, right? So your question is how can you solve the problem if somebody cannot examine before moving somewhere, right? So, yeah, if you cannot be examined because this country doesn't cover like equipment something, how will you treat these guys?
Is that's why we have proposed our proposal to be clear on the status of that ship, like how the crew members' health information is already included in the ship before they disembark or embark. There are some countries that they cannot do any pandemic test, but in the long term, pandemic information, like the risk management can be assessed that can replace the pandemic test in the future.
Yep, I hope so. So, yeah, let's move on the next question. Master.
Thank you, Chair. So my question is quite simple. So you have showed us very extensive data set from ILO, WHO, port data, airport, customs, whatever else. So how do you actually classify with exact priorities? What comes first? And how does such extensive data set can be managed within one single data set? And who's in actually charge of actually simplifying or holistically organizing such information? Do they have exact priorities, or what comes up first and what comes up next? Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your question. So our proposal is to incorporate health information. So this is the priority process. So if we adopt this process, then it will remove the barrier that nowadays many states are abandoning the crew changes. So this will remove the barrier, so like uncertainty, and if this uncertainty is solved, we can seek further cooperation of international cooperation. So that's why this incorporating health information is priority.
I'm kind of afraid that I didn't quite get my answer questions. I asked how you have given very extensive data set. How do you actually prioritize between those data? You have port data, you have airport data, you have customs data, you have every single data set you have analyzed. But what comes first? Literally, like what can be prioritized among those data?
So we believe the definition comes first. So many authorities might have different names for the same elements. So we need to clarify those definitions and try to clarify those elements uniquely so that it won't be overlapping with other definitions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think time is up, so yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, please return to your seat. Thank you.